Dinner's on the table, same as every night before. But there's a chair across from me that nobody sits in anymore. I set 2 plates from habit, catch myself and set just one. Funny how a simple chair can feel so loud when someone's gone. The room's the same, the light's the same, nothing's changed except for you. And that's the thing that breaks me every single time I look through. It's just an empty chair, but it holds so much I miss. The conversations, all the laughter, every ordinary moment like this. I'm not ready to move it, not ready to pretend. It's just an empty chair, but it's where my whole life used to bend. I tried to fill it once with a stack of books and old mail, but somehow that felt worse, like erasing your details. So I leave it where it's always been, right across from me at night. Maybe I'm not healing, maybe I'm just holding on too tight. The room's the same, the years roll on, but that chair stays in its place. A quiet kind of monument to a love I can't replace. It's just an empty chair, but some nights I still set it right. Pour a second cup of coffee out of nothing but old delight. I know it doesn't make sense, I know you won't walk back in. It's just an empty chair, but it's where this story didn't end. Someday maybe I'll move it, someday maybe I'll let it go. But tonight I'll sit here with it, in the quiet, in the glow. Just me and the empty chair, and everything it knows. It's just an empty chair in an otherwise ordinary room, but it's the loudest thing I own in every kind of quiet noon. So I'll leave it where it sits, right across from me, my friend. It's just an empty chair, but some stories don't really end. The sheets still smell like coffee, and the candle that you light. I reach across the mattress, out of habit every night. My hand finds only pillow where your shoulder used to be. 30 years of sleeping close don't disappear so easily. I used to fall asleep to the sound of you breathing slow. Now I fall asleep to silence in a half a bed I can't let go. I'm sleeping in half a bed, the other half still warm with you somehow. I'm sleeping in half a bed, wondering where you're sleeping now. The blankets feel too heavy, or maybe just too light. I'm sleeping in half a bed every single night. I tried to spread out further, take up all the space that's mine, but something in me won't allow it, like I'm waiting, biding time. Maybe part of me still thinks you'll come back in from the hall, climb in beside me, sleepy-eyed like nothing happened after all. I used to fall asleep with your hand resting on my chest. Now I fall asleep with just the shape of where you used to rest. I'm sleeping in half a bed, and I've stopped waiting for the sound of you. I'm sleeping in half a bed, slowly learning what to do with all this extra space, with all this extra night. I'm sleeping in half a bed, and somehow I'll be alright. Someday I'll buy a smaller bed, someday I'll change the sheets for good, but tonight I'll lie here in the middle, just like maybe I should, taking up the whole damn bed. For the very first time, I'm sleeping in half a bed. Or maybe I'm sleeping in all of it now. The nights are slowly changing, I'm finding my way somehow. It still feels strange, it still feels quiet, but quiet isn't always bad. I'm sleeping in half a bed, learning to call it mine instead. I found a box of pictures while I was cleaning out the hall. Us at 20, us at 30, smiling like we had it all. Maybe we did have it for a while, for quite a while. Looking at these old photographs, I can't help but smile. Funny how a photograph can hold a moment we forgot, a whole day, a whole feeling, frozen still but never lost. Old photographs, old photographs, scattered out across the floor. Old photographs, old photographs of a life I don't live anymore. But I'm glad I have them, glad we made it to the frame. Old photographs, old photographs are the proof that we were happy once. There's one from some forgotten beach, both of us laughing at the rain. There's one from a wedding, not ours, but we look the same. Young and sure of everything, like nothing in this world could change. Funny how the camera caught it before everything rearranged. Funny how a photograph doesn't know how the story ends. It just holds the laughter like it's going to happen again. Old photographs, old photographs, I won't pack them all away. Old photographs, old photographs, they're allowed to stay. 'Cause even though we're not the same, even though the picture's old, old photographs still got some warmth they hold. Maybe someday I'll look back at pictures I'm taking now, of whatever life comes next, whatever I figure out. And maybe I'll smile then too, the way I'm smiling now. Old photographs, old photographs, I'll put them in a frame or two. Old photographs, old photographs, a little piece of me and you. Not the whole story, just a part, just a happy faded scene. Old photographs, old photographs are allowed to mean what they mean. I keep going back through the years, looking for the day it changed, the moment something quietly shifted and nothing felt the same. Was it the work? Was it the silence? Was it just life getting in the way? I don't have an answer, I just know it's not okay. We didn't fight, we didn't shout, we just slowly drifted out, like a tide that pulls so gently you don't notice till it's gone. Where did we go wrong? Was Was there a moment, was there a sign? Where did we go wrong? Somewhere between your life and mine. I don't need to fix it now, I just need to understand. Where did we go wrong? Somewhere we let go of each other's hand. Maybe there's no single moment, maybe it's 100 small ones. A missed dinner, an unsaid word, the door that quietly shuts. Maybe we just got comfortable with the distance we let grow, until the distance was a canyon and neither of us could cross, you know. We didn't fight, we didn't blame, we just slowly changed our names from us to two people standing in the same old frame. Where did we go wrong? I'm not asking to go back. Where did we go wrong? I just wanna understand the crack. Maybe nowhere, maybe nothing, maybe love just runs its course. Where did we go wrong? Or maybe nothing was wrong at all. Maybe some stories don't need a villain to end. Maybe two good people can still lose each other, my friend. Maybe that's the hardest part of where we are right now. Where did we go wrong? Maybe that's not the right question. Where did we go wrong? Maybe it's just a chapter ending, and somewhere down the road we'll understand it more. Where did we go wrong? Maybe nowhere, maybe everywhere. Who's to say? We sat across the table, talking quiet, talking slow. Neither one of us said the word, but somehow we both already knew. You asked about my mother, I asked about your work. We talked about the weather, while the real thing went unheard. If I'd known that was the last one, I might have said it differently. Might have held your hand a little longer, might have let the silence be. That was our last conversation, and it was about nothing at all. No big confessions, no goodbye scene, just two voices in a quiet hall. If I'd known, I would have slowed it down, I would have made it last. But that was our last conversation. Now it's in the past. I replay it sometimes, looking for some hidden sign, something in your voice, that I should have caught in time. But it was just an evening, just an ordinary chat. Maybe that's what makes it hardest, the ordinary kind like that. If I'd known that was the last one, I would have asked you to stay a while, would have told you something honest instead of just goodbye. That was our last conversation, 2 cups of coffee going cold, no fireworks, no final speech, just an evening growing old. If I'd known, I would have reached across the table for your hand. That was our last conversation, and I didn't understand. Maybe that's how it goes sometimes. The big things happen quiet. Maybe the last conversation isn't supposed to feel like a goodbye. Maybe it's supposed to feel like just another night. That was our last conversation, about nothing, about everything. If I'd known, I would have savored every word that we were saying. But maybe it's enough to know we talked until the end. That was our last conversation, and it was gentle and it was kind. The house is quiet now in ways it never used to be. No keys in the door at 6, no one calling out to me. I made a meal for one tonight, first time in 30 years. Stood there at the kitchen counter, somewhere between okay and tears. Nobody really teaches you how to live this way again. After all those years of we, going back to I and when. I'm learning to be alone, learning slow, learning late, filling up these empty rooms with the things I used to wait do until you got home. Now I do them just for me. I'm learning to be alone and learning I might be okay eventually. I joined a little group downtown, folks who meet on Tuesday nights. We don't talk about our losses much, we just sit beneath the lights, drink our coffee, share a laugh about the smallest things. And for an hour or two, the quiet doesn't sting. Nobody really teaches you, but somehow you find your way through the rooms, through the silence, through another day. I'm learning to be alone, and some days it still feels strange, but some days I catch my myself, smiling at the change. Not because I wanted this, but because I'm finding me. I'm learning to be alone, and slowly I am free. I still think of you sometimes, walking through the grocery store. I still set the table for two, then remember and set one more. But the moment passes quicker now than it used to before. I'm learning to be alone, and I think I'm doing fine, building something new and quiet out of what was once ours and mine. It's not the life I planned for, but it's the one I have today. I'm learning to be alone, and learning that it's okay. Your side of the closet's empty now, just hangers swaying slow. A few things you forgot to take that I don't know what to do with, you know. A scarf, an old gray sweater, the one you wore on rainy days. I should probably give them away, but I just closed the door instead. It's funny what gets left behind when someone leaves a life. A coat, a pair of reading glasses, things that don't mean much, but they do tonight. This is your side of the closet, still holding on to you, a little piece of who you were in everything I knew. I'm not ready to clear it out, not ready for that space to be bare. This is your side of the closet, and some part of you is still there. I found a ticket in a pocket from a movie we saw years ago. I don't even remember the film, but I remember holding your hand, you know. It's strange the things that stay with us long after the big things fade. A scrap of paper, a worn-out coat, can hold an entire decade. It's funny what gets left behind when two lives come apart. A closet full of quiet things that somehow hold the heart. This is your side of the closet, and maybe someday I'll let it go. Give the sweater to someone who'll never know what I know, but for now I'll leave it hanging right where it's always been. This is your side of the closet, and I'm not done with it yet. Maybe one day I'll open it and feel nothing at all. Maybe one day it's just a closet. Maybe one day I won't recall whose side was whose. But that day isn't today. This is your side of the closet, quiet, empty, still. A little museum of us that I'm not ready to fill. Someday I'll make some room there for whatever comes next. But for now it's your side of the closet, and I'll let it rest. We sat down like old friends do and talked about the years. No raised voices, no big scene, just honesty and a few tears. We said the things we should have said a long, long time ago. And somewhere in that quiet talk, we finally let each other go. It's strange to feel this much for someone and still know it's time to part. Love doesn't always mean forever. Sometimes it just means a chapter, not the whole book. I still love you, just not together. Still care, just not this way. I still love you, just not together. And I think that's okay. We gave each other years of good. We gave each other all we had. I still love you, just not together. And that doesn't make it sad. We'll still call on birthdays, still laugh about the things we know. We built a life, we raised a family that doesn't just go. There's a version of forever that doesn't mean the same house, the same bed. There's a version of forever that just means love instead. It's strange how endings can be gentle when two people choose them with care. Love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it just means letting each other be free. I still love you, just not together. Still wish you well, still want you near. I still love you, just not together. And that's enough, I think, my dear. Maybe years from now we'll meet and smile instead of looking away. Two people who shared a life and found a kinder way to say what needed to be said. I still love you, not the way before, but in a way that's true. A quieter kind of caring that carries me and carries you. We're closing one door gently, opening windows we couldn't see. I still love you, just not together, and that's how it's meant to be. 20-some years of mornings, 20-some years of nights, holidays and ordinary days, arguments and quiet delights. I'm not here to count the losses, I'm here to count what came before. All the years we built together behind that big front door. Some people never get this long, some never get this much. So before I think of endings, let me think of all of it. The years we had were good ones, even with the hard parts too. The years we had were good ones because of me and you. The end. The years we had were good ones, and I'll carry them, my friend. We watch the kids grow taller, watch the seasons turn and turn. We learned each other's habits, some good and some we had to learn. We weren't perfect, never claimed to be, but we showed up time and again. It has to count for something, even now, even at the end. Some chapters close while others open, that's just how the story goes. So before I turn the final page, let me sit with what I know. The years we had were full ones, full of noise and full of peace. The years we had were full ones, and I won't pretend they were brief. We gave each other decades, we gave each other a lot. The years we had were good ones, and that's a gift, whatever's not. So here's to every birthday, every holiday, every drive. Here's to every little moment that made up a shared life. I'm grateful even now. It's the part that stays with me. Nobody tells you letting go happens slow, not all at once. It's not a door that slams behind you. It's 100 smaller ones. A drawer you finally empty, a song you can finally hear, a morning that goes by without that familiar ache, my dear. I used to think I'd wake up and just feel different all at once, but healing doesn't work that way. It just quietly happens. I'm letting go slowly, one small piece at a time. Not because I have to rush, just because that's how it's done. I'm letting go slowly, and some days I barely move, but I'm further than I was, and that's something to hold on to. Changed the photo on my desk just last week without much thought. I didn't cry the way I used to, I just smiled at what we had. I think that's what they mean when they talk about the time. It doesn't erase the story, it just softens every line. I used to measure days by how much it hurt to wake. Now I measure days by the quiet, ordinary ways. I'm okay, I'm letting go slowly, and slowly feels just right. Some days I take a step back, some days I find new light. I'm letting go slowly, learning that it's not a race. I'm letting go slowly and making room for grace. Someday I'll look back at this and barely feel the weight. Someday this will just be a chapter, not a state. But until then, I'll go slowly, and that has to be enough. I'm letting go slowly, just like everybody does. No timeline, no deadline, just one day, then the next. I'm letting go slowly, and somehow that's enough. I'm letting go slowly, and I think I'll be alright. I saw you at the market with someone I don't know. You looked happy, looked at ease, and I let you go. It stung for just a second, then something else took hold. Not anger, not quite sadness, something calmer, something old. I used to think I'd hate this moment, used to think I'd fall apart, but standing there I just felt a strange kind of peace settle in my heart. You're someone else's now, and I'm okay, I think I really am. You're someone else's now, and I hope they understand what I understood too late. But I'm glad I understand it now. You're someone else's now, and that's allowed. I thought about our kitchen table, the one you took when you moved out. I thought about 100 mornings, and I didn't feel the doubt. I felt something more like gratitude for the years, for what we were. And underneath that gratitude, a quiet, gentle door. I used to think moving on meant forgetting everything. Turns out it just means making room for something new to bring. You're someone else's now, and I'm building something too. You're someone else's now, and I wish that for you, a life that fits you better, a love that suits this season. You're someone else's now, and I've got my own reasons. Maybe we were a chapter, maybe not the whole book. Maybe that's okay too, however long it took to get here, to this piece. You're someone else's now, I'm finally someone new too. You're someone else's now, and I'm glad I got to know you, for the years we had, for the lessons, for the love that came and went. You're someone else's now, and I wish you well, my friend. There's a version of that morning where I said the things I felt, where I told you I was scared instead of staying quiet, staying still. There's a version where I reached across that final gap we had, instead of letting pride decide the way. It sadly did. I keep writing it differently in my head late at night. 100 versions of that morning where I finally got it right. What I wish I'd said were the simple things, not the grand. That I was sorry, that I noticed, that I still wanted to hold your hand. What I wish I'd said wasn't anything that hard, just 3 small words I should have said before we drifted apart. I'm not asking for a do-over. I know that's not how this goes, but sometimes in the quiet, the unsaid things still echo. I've started saying things now to the people still around, not waiting for the moment when the words can't be found. I keep writing it differently, but I've learned something too. The next conversation matters more than the one I can't undo. What I wish I'd said, I'm learning to say now to people who are still here before they're not around. What I wish I'd said taught me something after all. Don't wait for the last conversation. Say it before the curtain falls. So if you're listening somewhere, I hope you somehow know the things I never said out loud. I felt them long ago. I just didn't say them in time. What I wish I'd said is finally being said, not to you, but to the living, not to the past, but ahead. What I wish I'd said became a lesson, not a regret. What I wish I'd said is something I won't forget. We were more than just a couple. We were partners, we were friends. Through the decades, through the changes, through the means and through the ends. So this isn't just a love song. This is something more, I think. This is for the years together, for every bridge, for every link. You knew me before I knew myself. You saw every version of my face. There's no replacing 30 years. There's no replacing that kind of space. So goodbye, old friend. Not just a lover, but a friend too. Goodbye, old friend. Thank you for everything we knew. This isn't the end of caring, just the end of how we were. Goodbye, old friend, I'll carry you wherever I go from here. We'll see each other at the milestones, grandchildren, holidays, the rest. And maybe that's its own kind of love, a quieter, different kind, but no less. I don't regret a single year, even knowing how it ends. Some stories don't need a forever to have meant everything. You knew me before the world did. You held the pieces I let show. There's no erasing what we built, even as we let it go. So goodbye, old friend. The chapter's closing, but not the book. Goodbye, old friend. I'm grateful for every look, every year, every season, every reason that we stayed. Goodbye, old friend. You were never just a phase. Wherever this road takes us now, separately but still somehow connected, I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope the years ahead are gentle, and I hope sometimes you think of me. So goodbye, old friend. This is how our story ends. Not with anger, not with blame, just two people still the same. At our core, still kind, still true. Goodbye, old friend. I'm better for having known